Sounds like time for a meal. I'd like to make way to the tavern.
All right. Okay. So you get to the tavern and you find that the place is packed with refugees. There are refugees from the south, and if you engage a few of them in conversation, you'll find that not a few of them are from Greenest itself. Some have come. Some have come from Easting and Erebor, and they're all reporting the same things. Massive dragon and goblinoid attacks, kobolds, ogres, orcs, rushing in from places unknown and working together to crush the local security forces and to take the town. The towns of Greenest and Easting are in completely in goblinoid hands now, and if any of them stand still, it is a matter of pure luck. The goblins have been looting and burning and pillaging because they're goblins.
So asking around trying to get a general feel, what direction do the dragons come from when they approach Greenest?
Most of the people seem to indicate that the dragons came from the south. There are a few people who don't know, who weren't paying attention, but generally the feeling is that they came from the south.
I get any tales of the days leading up to an attack, what was going on in the city, maybe any indicator that the problem was coming? Or any rumor of things that were going about?
I'm sorry, what is it you're asking?
I want to know what was happening in Greenest and the days coming to the attack, if there any whispers of problems on the horizon, of issues in the city.
Oh, okay. So talking to the people, they all seem to agree that this attack came out of nowhere. There was no real indication prior to the day that it occurred, and when the attack happened, suddenly it was over. It doesn't take long for a dragon, let alone an army of kobolds and ogres and orcs, to overwhelm a town guard. But the speed and the coordination with which they struck is just unheard of.
Is there any indication whether the dragons and goblinoids attacked from the same direction, or if they came or they traveled from the same direction? Did any patrols or out and about see where they're coming from? Sure, there had been some warning of an attack. They don't just appear out of nowhere. They had to have staged somewhere.
You do encounter a town guard, someone who was on the walls at Greenest and is not proud of the fact that he's still alive because he fled. But he does tell you that he was watching on the south wall at Greenest when the army came over the horizon. At first, he couldn't understand what it was. It looked like an army, but he couldn't imagine an army of humans coming up that way. And no army of goblins or kobolds would have stood a chance against the city walls and the city defenses. So he wasn't really worried about it until the dragon showed up. And then everything changed. He fled directly across the fields to Burdusk, and he's been here a day and a half at this point.
Is there any knowledge of any other cities that have been attacked?
Easting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Saying you said Easting is under Goblin and Kobold rule, I guess.
Yeah, Easting has also fallen, and you are fortunate enough to find someone from Easting as well, who is resting in the tavern here at Verdusk. They tell you that the army struck without warning. They struck in a highly coordinated attack. There was nothing they could do to beat it back, because how can you fight a dragon? You know, it flies. It's got massive hit points and armor and a breath weapon. You know, you can't fight that. You just run, especially when it's bent on destruction. If it were trying to preserve your city, that would be one thing. But if it's willing to burn down anything and everything that it encounters, you just run.
Does anyone know of any other dragons like Zuperthima? If I pronounced that right?
What are you asking?
If there's any dragons that are friendly, like the Protector. Zuperthima.
So several people in Verdusk know of Zuperthima. She's been around for a week or a week and a half. None of the refugees from any of the other places seem to know anything about other dragons, except of course the ones that attacked and destroyed their villages.
Okay.
Well, it seems we're not crazy. Other people have seen the dragons.
Yes, clearly.
Why is only one of them friendly so far?
So what happened to the other good dragons? Anyone remember?
They went to if I'm not mistaken, she said they were meeting up north.
In a conference of the great birds. I mean, dragons.
And how did you come by that information?
Zuperthima told us that Bahamut, the Great Council of Metallics, was meeting up north on our way here.
Isn't it a wonderful thing to take notes?
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone have the religion skill?
Of course. I do not.
What? You're a paladin.
I don't know how.
You have a pretty small selection anyway. It makes sense. Okay. Excuse me. Even untrained, 15 is. Oh my. 15 is good enough to know that Bahamut is the lawful good god of dragons.
Platinum, right?
Yeah, he's platinum.
I have a history. Does that count?
But anything like my dragon kid upbringing gives some light to the background, us being big into our heritage and all.
Holy mackerel, you're dragonborn. Yes, you know all about Bahamut. If you didn't worship Bahamut yourself, you had friends who did. Bahamut is he's commonly worshipped by good dragons, by paladins. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize you were dragonborn until I just looked at your character there on the screen. Duh. But Bahamut lore is pretty common among your people. There is the evil goddess of dragons, and her name is Tiamat.
What color is demon?
Green.
But Dragonborn are not like full dragons.
Yeah.
Their alignment is not determined by their color.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you now.
I'm going back to the other channel. There's no one in there talking, so I don't know if my stuff's working.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to sit here and listen if you like.
I'm fixing to run some stuff with Shin, but he went AFK for a second, so I'll just wait for him to get back.
It's good to know just in case we run across anyone who doesn't have that knowledge.
Well, dragon lore is the Arcana skill, and it's not a very common thing. So people look at Dragonborn with general distrust, but very few people look at them without right hatred.
Until now, do you think you might want to cover up a little bit?
But I'm so friendly.
I know. But these people would, you never know. So I guess we should check in with what time is it right now? Midday, right?
Early evening.
Early evening. Okay.
The merchant should be meeting up with us tomorrow.
Let's ask the barkeep if there's anything we can do to assist him. If he needs any help with anything.
He says that you can always use a strong map if you're willing to work.
Well, I eat. What's for dinner?
He has a decent array of food. If there's one thing that Birdus does have, it's food. So you can have pretty much whatever you like, within reason, of course. But if you're if you're willing to work, always use a strong back.
Yeah, I could help. I would love to help you out. As long as I'm compensated for my assistance.
Okay. He will put you to work in the kitchen cleaning dishes, and if you work for the rest of the day, he'll give you 2 silver pieces.
Oh, I think I have to pass on that, sir.
Thought you were looking for work.
2 silver for 1 day's work?
2 silver for less than half a day's work? Sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good compensation.
Oh.
Oh, are you a murder hobo?
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I will be happy to assist.
Okay, so you go back and you wash dishes. Your supper is going to be free, but
there is a safe.
Is there what?
Is there a safe in the back?
I don't like where this is going.
No, but with that perception check, you do see that there is a treasure chest or a chest under the bar where the barkeep is putting in a day's tills.
Does he see me?
No, he's got his back to you as you approach the chest.
I'm gonna tap it on him on the shoulder and say you should be more careful.
He looks at you grumpily and says, "Those dishes aren't going to clean themselves, son."
I get back to the kitchen and clean those dishes.
There you go. All right. So is anyone else doing anything in the evening?
I plan on resting.
Can I help work? Can I help with the dishes?
You sure can. Yeah, he needs all the help he can get. He'll give you 2 silver for if you clean the dishes until about an hour past sundown. That'll be quit time.
Might as well.
All right. He's grateful for your assistance and brings you each back a very fine meal. After a couple of hours of work, brings you a very fine meal and a mug of ale. Thanks you and lets you know that you've got another hour and a half to go before quitting time.
Keep on working.
All right. Those of you who can afford in rooms, you can rest easy for the night. If you can't afford an in room for 1 silver piece, you're welcome to stay in the stables. There's lots of hay and blankets out there, and the horses don't bite.
Take an in room.
Can I stay at the hay stables regardless of the fact that I can afford an in-room?
Yeah, you're welcome to stay wherever you want to stay.
I'll stay there.
I'll take a room.
Okay. There aren't many rooms available because the place is packed with refugees. But most of the refugees can't afford an in-room, and so the stables are pretty crowded. But the in-rooms are available, and the night passes without incident.
Bright and early, I'd like to head to the mercantile district and work on our mission.
Okay. How early are you going?
8.
All right. The place is pretty busy at this point. There's lots of people out either trading for food or begging for food. Lots of laborers out in the field. People going to and fro. A few more refugees streaming in, but not many this early. Most are still on the roads. You find the merchant shop. It was... what was it called? I even gave you a name of the place, didn't I?
Ted's Magical Item Emporium.
Okay, you find Ted's Bachelor Item Emporium. And no, that's really a terrible name. Sorry. You find the place. It hasn't opened yet. It won't open for another hour. Are you going to break in? You're going to wait for the shopkeep?
I'd like to explore the exterior.
Okay. So it's a general kind of store. 2 layers or two stories. Wooden porch on the front. Large glass windows out front displaying merchandise. Upstairs seems to be a storage area. Around the back, there's a rear porch on the building and a second level on the porch with a stairway that does go up there as well.
Looking at the people who are outside the store, does anyone look to be obvious, like they're waiting to go in? Anyone who looks suspect?
No. This place doesn't open for another hour. Nobody's trying to get in here.
Okay, I'd like to buy midnight.
All right.
Do I hear anything in the store?
Pressing your ear to the window, the place sounds deserted inside.
Can we see anything inside the store, like what the items that are on sale?
Yeah, there's various and sundry items that would be of interest to just random farming families in a farming village. But there are some unusual items as well. Trays of unusual jewelry, and on the back wall above the I want to say the bar, but it's not the bar. It's the place where you buy. Yeah, the counter. Thank you. On the back wall above the counter, there is a short. There's a short spear that glows with a soft green light.
Guys, did our merchant friend tell us exactly what he needed from the store?
Not at all.
Yeah, I thought we were just supposed to visit and talk with the owner, but I don't remember any of the details from that.
Yeah, to be quite fair, that was about a month ago, and I don't have notes for it. So
No worries.
No, it was very odd to begin with. He was like, "Yes, the store has some things that I would find valuable." We're like, "Okay, well, we'll go get them for you."
Sounds like an adventure hook. We like those.
Yeah, it was like, "What town do we need to go to?" Oh, all right, this is the town we need to go to.
Better to get eaten by dragons, sure, we'll go shopping.
So, there's some cool stuff in there, guys. Stand in front of me.
I'm gonna go to church since we got an hour.
okay.
I just want to wait patiently outside of the store. Hour will pass soon enough.
Okay, so your rogue is hiding and picking the locks.
Mm-hmm. Can I get the lock open?
Yes, as soon as you insert your tools into the lock, you feel something click, and then you need to make a reflex save.
It was unlocked the whole time. Did you even try?
The
Fall
dexterity
over,
save?
dumb. Reflex.
Yeah, if I see him trying to pick the lock, I turn back away. I don't want anything more to do with it.
Good. Okay. Well done. You only take 5 points of shock damage as the trapped lock zaps you with a lightning bolt.
Nice. So the door's open now?
Oh no, no. You just triggered the trap.
Oh, okay. Let's wait, guys.
Fucking guys.
Cue Jeopardy theme.
Right. So about an hour later, a gnome comes up, walks up to the front door, waves his hand over the lock plate, and then inserts a key. Opens the door, looks around, looks at you, and says, "Boy, I hope you didn't try to get in there." Opens the door and walks in.
Okay, seeing that the store is open, I go in.
Let's go in.
Okay. As the gnome walks through the aisle, or the aisles of the store, torches alight on either side of the room as he passes. He goes behind the counter and climbs up onto a stool and says, "What can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Oh, just browsing for now. I'd like to see what the store offers.
Yes, well, my grandpappy was a wizard, and he taught me a few things. But there's not much call for magic here in Verdusk, so I sell pretty much everything, with a few special items, you know.
What are your specialties?
items?
He turns around and points to the short spear on the wall above him. This long spear has been in my family for generations. We use it to protect ourselves, but times are hard. If you're looking for magical weapons, I suppose I could let her go.
Oh, I have my own things.
What does the weapon do?
Why, this here weapon, slays dragons in a single blow. It's pretty powerful.
Well, mine doesn't do that.
See? Yeah, dragons, dead dragons, lots of dead dragons. Thousands of dead dragons this spears. Killed them all. He's lying through his teeth.
Very good.
How much is it?
For you? Well, you know, you seem to be a fair sergeant. I kind of like you. The cut of your jib and all. I'll sell it to you for 1,000 gold pieces.
Very reasonable offer of you.
It is. I like this boy. Though. That's why I'm making him, such a reasonable offer.
It sounds like a discounted price if you ask me.
It's quite a discount. You're right, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know. What other items do you have?
Got a pair of boots here. But don't know they'd be much use to adventure types like yourself.
No, what's that?
Oh, they just repel mud. So if you're a worker in the field and your wife is always getting on you about tracking muddy boots back through the house, well, these will solve your problem.
I'd like to survey the store, see if anything stands out that would be in line with what our friend who sent us here is looking for. I don't know if investigation is appropriate for that or not.
Yeah, make an investigation check. The most obvious item in the store would be the spear.
Out of character, I try to remember what he told us. Like, I felt there was a reason other than just go to the store.
It really wasn't.
Yeah, again, it was a long time ago. I don't even know what I was thinking back then. So we'll just sort of play it by ear and move forward from here. I think I was struggling trying to find a way to get you guys to go north.
Yeah. It was pretty quick, if I remember. So there's jewels that were out there, right?
Jewels?
Or jewelry, rather. That were on display?
Oh, yeah. Just basic jewelry, yeah.
Could I ask the shop porter if he has any knowledge of the dragons and anything that's going on?
Oh, my grandpappy was a great dragon slayer. He was a knight of the knight of our village, and he used this spear, of course, to slay
As
many
I
thousands of dragons.
grab jewelry.
You're trying to rob the store?
Yeah, just grab a ring.
You put that back there.
Oh,
Maybe we pull this spear down off the wall.
I'm sorry. I was just examining it. My
You were just
apologies.
looking, right? Keep your hands to yourself. I just barely beat you.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, you rolled badly too, so.
Oh, I'll play along. So I just telepathically to him, was like, you should check in the back, see if there's anything for sale for us. Kind of as a suggestion to him, meant telepathically.
You know, I bet I've got some great stuff in the back here for you. I mean, let me go see what I've got. You wait right here, and don't you touch that jewelry.
So I take a glance at the rogue, and I walk out of the store.
I touch the jewelry.
I steal everything.
What are you taking? You've got a limited amount of time.
I'm gonna grab 2 rings and go.
Okay.
I follow them out of the store, but make sure to touch the jewelry as I leave, but I don't take it with me.
Okay.
Just out of spite.
I'll head towards church.
Okay, the church in Burdusk is easy enough to find. It's a large stone structure dedicated to many of the gods. However, the chief deity worshipped in the church at Burdusk is Ilana, the god of the crop.
So we can talk to whoever's in charge there and see if they're aware of the dragon that was watching over them.
Oh yeah, they're great friends with her.
Do they have a long history?
Not a long history. They were rather surprised when she arrived. She doesn't usually come. She has come by this way before to check, but she's never spent any real time here.
It was just good to see a dragon that wasn't wrecking a town.
I'm sure it was, laddie.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you?
Nobody's from around here, laddie. Everybody's from somewhere else.
Do you know anything of the Bahamut guy? Dragon?
I could be persuaded to tell you some stories, lad, if you'd like to make a small donation to the poor box.
Oh yeah, I'm the hero of the people. I always give back to the people. I will deposit my -2 gold that I have on my character sheet because it was all on my halfling.
Okay. So you put a few coins in the poor box, and the priest there begins to tell you a long and boring story straight out of the scriptures from the tales of Bahamut and Tiamat. You find that Tiamat is a 5-headed multichromatic dragon who once loved Bahamut greatly, and when Bahamut did not return her love, she swore vengeance on him and all of his metallic kind. Eventually, the two became the most bitter of enemies. Looks like we found us a picture. Actually, if you just Google Tiamat, you'll find her. She like each of her heads is a different color.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, she's bad. She's bad news.
So in the story, does it say where this person reigns or would hang out? The reason I'm asking is we spoke to Superthema before she was attacked, and I feel like, oh shit, we need to go see this council and warn them because she was not able to make She may not make it. And somebody needs to tell the council what's going on.
Oh, the Council of Dragons is all the way to the north, the far end of the spine of the world. And there's no way that you could make it there by normal means in any sort of reasonable time.
Oh no.
I could perhaps send a message through mystical means if you lack the capability.
Yes, that would be. I believe that would be wise. We need to let them know. There's some troubling news from the south.
Okay. So the priest goes forward to the altar, lays out some spell components, begins chanting and casting the spell as a ritual, and about 10 minutes later, his eyes roll back in his head and he begins to mumble. He's speaking in a language that is, he's speaking in Draconic, if you recognize Draconic. He's still speaking in Draconic if you don't recognize Draconic. But he seems to be having a conversation, and when he stops speaking, there's a slight look of consternation over his face, as if he wasn't answered. He speaks again, and waits for a few moments, and then the spell ends. He lowers his hands and he looks at you and he says, "It's weird, but they're not responding."
Oh, that's not good. Do they normally respond? I'm guessing by your tone.
Yes. To common inquiry, the metallic dragons are generally very gracious, but this time there was no response at all.
It's awful lot of this chat, no response.
Well, as a spellcaster, you know that he had to cast the spell to make it happen.
Is this the first time they haven't responded?
It is actually, yes. The first time I haven't gotten a response from them. I don't contact them often, but whenever I do, I'm always afforded the courtesy of a response, at least.
Did they mention anything in your last chat with them?
It's been years, so sorry, no. Perhaps you should speak to the mayor. He may know more about what's going on politically around here.
Yes, let's go speak with him, guys. And girls.
Yep. Want to make way to the mayor?
I gotta put some more money in the box. Thank him for his time, and if he hears anything, to let us know.
It's very, very kind of you, my son. Thank you.
So walk on over to Samuel. Did you go shopping? Did you?
Yeah, I did. Nothing spectacular. I pull out the rings I had.
Nice find. And keep on walking.
Should we go visit the mayor?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so you remember where the mayor's house is. You saw him addressing the crowds yesterday. There's no crowds at his gate today. The gates are, however, closed, and there is a guard standing in front of them.
Hello. You've come to see the mayor.
Not more people come to see the mayor. He's such a busy man. What's your business?
He's expecting us. We have an appointment.
You have an appointment?
Yes, you want to talk to us about all these goings on, so he asked for us specifically.
Roll bluff check.
Deception, I'm assuming.
Deception, yes, sir.
Yes!
Right, you've got an appointment with the mayor. That's a good one. Okay, move along.
So to telepathically say to him, let them in.
Well, right, you might actually have an appointment with the mayor. He turns and opens the door and he says, just don't let anybody know that I let you in. Voices inside my head. I think this is a good idea. The gods have spoken. You should go in.
Make our way in.
Thank you, sir. I shake his hand.
Yes, take many things.
He looks exceedingly confused, but it's not long before you are inside the foyer in the mayoral palace. Excuse me. Gosh, I can't wait for this cough to go away. And the mayor comes to greet you. He looks a bit confused. He mutters something about telling the guard that he didn't want to be disturbed. But and then he immediately puts on a big fake smile under his big real mustache and says, "What can I do for you, gentlemen?"
That's the question we wanted to ask you, actually.
Are you adventurous?
Maybe.
Well then, I may have a job for you.
Not going to help.
What job is that?
Only if you're adventurous. He sort of leans against the wall and crosses his arms in front of his chest, smiles at you.
Just make a strong eye-to-eye glare to him.
Oh, yes. Well, he stands up and straightens his spectacles. There was a powerful knight in my employ, Lord Reginald, and Lord Reginald has a little retirement home just near the forest there. And he just at the edge of the reaching woods, you see. And Lord Reginald, I could really use Lord Reginald's advice. If you could go and fetch him, I could pay you.
Say again where he'd be found.
Just follow the river northeast to the woods, and then just inside the forest a little ways. Not more than quarter of a day's ride.
Look around the group. Seems worth our while.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. That's good. Yes, good. All right, yes, well done.
Mayor, so is there any trouble we should expect out there?
Oh, no. Lord Reginald's a powerful knight. He everything should, yes, just go and let him know that we could use his assistance.
Oh, I'm sold.
Yes, and as adventurers, we would expect to be compensated for our time. And skill.
What skills do you possess, my son?
I like to stab people in the back.
Right. So, you leave the mayor's residence. You travel along the river, just inside the forest there, and you come to a cabin. It looks like it has, however, been burned down just recently.
I'd like to summon my long spear, or my halberd rather.
Okay. When you do that, is it like casting a spell?
I can take it as an action to summon it from wherever.
Okay, but I mean, do you? Okay, so yeah, you just probably just summon it. Okay, so we can say that you can do that silently.
Why are we being silent? Are we just going to talk to a guy?
Well, this house is on fire.
Yeah, the place doesn't look in shape.
Do we notice anyone or anything around the house?
Give me perception checks.
Whoa. It looks like that's a standard perception, not a perception check. Hold on.
Okay, I've got perceptions from Samuel and Sinergy. Anyone else looking around?
Oh, I didn't know if you were asking all this for me.
In
Sorry.
the tower. It's more funner.
How do I do a perception check?
Go to skills on your character sheet.
Okay.
You go to perception and you'll see there's like a little dice with a number above it. Click on that and then roll it.
If you drag it into the castle looking thing, it's the way you're supposed to do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So, all right, good. Yeah. So you, looking at the house, you hear something very large moving around on the other side. You hear a thunk as if a large, heavy club has struck flesh. You hear deep chuckling and what sounds like cursing in some unknown language, unless you happen to speak giant, and then it sounds like cursing in giant.
AJ, just see if it changes the story I'm reading out. It says you can use your action to create a packed weapon in your empty hand. And it says like change of form, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't say that I cast a spell. It just like create it in my hand.
Right, yeah, so that's why I'm saying you concentrate on it and it takes a few seconds to materialize, but that you don't actually have to cast a spell in a loud, clear voice, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just trying to play fair. So I'm not trying to be cheesy.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, so whatever's on the other side of the cabin hasn't heard you yet or hasn't seen you yet. So that's what's going on here.
Guys, I think we should try and get an angle on these things you've all heard.
So, is this the cabin that we were sent to? I'm trying to make sure if anything brought us specifically to
Yes.
this locale. Okay, make sure we're just messing with things out to go bump in the night.
Yeah, this place definitely fits the location that the mayor gave you.
Okay, fair enough. Just want to be a murder hobo.
So that term gets thrown around a lot. Murder hobos would have killed the mayor and the town guard. You guys are not murder hobos.
All right.
I didn't realize that was the extent of it until I did some reading on the forums, and people were like, "My party's made out of murder hobos. They kill town guard. They slaughter merchants in their villages. They kill children on the streets." Yeah, that's a murder hobo. If a party kills goblins and orcs when they encounter them, that's totally common and normal.
Oh, good. Justified murders. All right. Okay, since we're not detected, we have some wiggle room. I'd like to move up to Sam.
Yes.
I'm gonna peek around the corner, see if I see anything else.
Okay. Give me another stealth check, please. Nicely done.
I'd like to listen, see if I can determine the direction of whatever large beast is if they're moving a certain way.
Okay. Samuel, you look around and you can see a couple of ogres. They have very large sacks, and there's lots of stuff in their sacks. They seem to be going through them and trading pieces back and forth. And I need to roll a perception check. Against your stealth check, I don't have much of a chance there. So that's what you see. Oh wait, their passive perception is an 8. What's their active perception? Probably a negative number. Okay.
Nice. Do I see Lord Reginald?
There's lots of blood on one of the ogre's great clubs. It may belong to Lord Reginald.
I come back to the group and I whisper, shout to Sinergy. I think Lord Reginald might be gone.
Oh no. What do we do?
On the bright side, I think the mayor might reward us for killing his killers. Eh?
We didn't come all this way to not get paid.
Plus they have a lot of shit in their bags.
So, sneaky.
How do we know he's even dead?
Okay, Sinergy, give me a stealth check, please.
Oh, I'm like the stealthiest of stealthy. Oh, I have disadvantage? That's horse shit.
Yeah, your armor gives you disadvantage on your stealth checks.
See how sneaky I am?
Okay, so as you move around the right side of the house, the ogres lift up their heads and go, you're
Tim Allen?
Oh, can they please be called Tim and Wilson?
Sure, why not? Okay, so Tim and Wilson look up as Sinergy approaches and say, ha 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 ha, more human, more stuff for ogre sacks, more loot. Come, human, give us your loot. And then they grab D20s. And they, oops.
They roll initiative.
They all roll initiative, but
I go first.
they roll really super badly.
They beat that?
How do you have a -1 to initiative?
I have a -1 to my Dex mod. Dex is a dump stat. Duh.
Sweet flame, you're up.
I'll just stay where I am for now.
Request to not be unconscious.
Yeah.
Not speaking double negative, request to be conscious.
Just realized that was a thing there.
Doesn't Demon have his armor still? He got rid of Demon's armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna recast it. I have it all day or day.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Did it take?
Yeah, I'll just go where
Drag the effect onto your name in the combat tracker.
I got it.
Ta-da!
Oh, on the combat tracker. Damn.
That's how I was able to do it.
Okay. So Sweet Flame, you're not going to do anything.
Nope.
All right. So on the top right-hand corner, there's a bank of 8 little buttons. One of them is a pair of crossed swords. If you click that, it'll open the combat tracker. This will show you initiative and relative hit points and friendliness or unfriendliness of everyone in the tracker. At the bottom left-hand corner of the combat tracker, there's the little down arrow button. Thank you.
How do I do the measurement for distance again?
Click both mouse buttons and drag.
Thank you. If I were to go to this ogre and pokey poke him, would I get a stealth, or would I get a stealth attack? Since they're
Your first attack would be from stealth because you are currently hidden and they're not aware of you.
Hey Jake, you reopen the combat map again. I attempted to get rid of my pointer, just got rid of the map.
Okay, to get rid of your pointer, simply click with both mouse buttons on it.
Got it.
Okay, good hit, sir. Run it behind and stab the ogre in the butt. For really good damage. All right.
And because I am a what's it called, swashbuckler, I can walk away, and I don't provoke an attack.
Wow.
You found the ogre's weak spot.
Their butt.
Persian shank method, just stab and go, stab and go.
And I end my turn.
All right. Thank you.
I clearly did not forget.
I know it's probably annoying for me to keep reminding everybody, but when everybody remembers to do it, it really speeds up combat and makes things go very quickly.
Okay, use a move to go stand near the paladin, but not further.
All right.
So no one's up yet.
Synergy.
I made the mistake of loading modules. I'm going to ready my attack for when the ogre comes within range, and use my defensive ability on Demon, because he moved to me, right? It hasn't my screen hasn't updated because of the damn thing.
Yeah, because you're behind you.
Is he within 5 feet? He needs to be within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to shield protection fighting stance on Demon, and ready my attack for when they enter combat range.
Okay. Now, just to make sure you're aware, moving in on them would not provoke an attack opportunity.
No, I'm not wanting to move away from Demon.
Okay.
I am a stand your ground kind of fighter, not a rush in and charge unless there's somebody that I can protect. So I'm protecting him with my shield, but I'm going to stab them if they come close to me.
Okay. Now you also have everyone also has an inspiration you can use at any time for any roll to grant yourself advantage or to cancel disadvantage on a roll. So if you have if you have disadvantage and you want to make the roll normally, you can burn an inspiration to cancel disadvantage. You know, in essence, you move it up one step. Or if you're making the roll normally and you want to roll with advantage, you can burn your inspiration and then click the ADV button at the bottom left-hand corner next to the modifiers window, and that will allow you to roll with advantage. Does everyone know what advantage is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's no shame if you don't. All right, good. So, Sinergy, was it any kind of return?
Well, yeah. I just wanted you to know that I have it ready to attack. So
Right.
I pushed the button. If you want to just advance it, I'm locking up. I loaded the stupid player's handbook.
Oh, okay. So Ogre 3 comes over here to kill the one who stabbed him in the leg. He swings with his great club and he hits Samuel.
Oh, yes, he does.
Oh my goodness. For a lot of damage.
Oh, I have 1 HP left, guys. Just that way.
Jesus.
Can he die 2 sessions in a row?
Good God.
Ogre 6. Approaches Sinergy. So you're on the vertices of 2 different. I'm just going to move you to set you in a square.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. So this ogre moves up and targets Sinergy. Swings with his great club and misses. Sweet Flame.
I'm going to move next to Samuel,
Okay.
and then I'm going to cast a shield spell to protect us. If I can do that.
Okay. So let's look at the shield spell here. It has a range of self, so you can cast it on you. It will increase your armor class until the start of your next turn. You have +5 bonus to AC, but it's only on you. It's not on anyone else.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, your shield spell only affects you. It doesn't affect anyone else. If you look on your on the actions tab of your character sheet, on the far right-hand side, you'll see little brown dots. Those are shields. They're links to what each of your spells can do. If you click on the shield spell or link, it says that the range on the shield spell is self, and it will increase the armor class. It'll increase your armor class until the start of your next turn by 5.
Okay, then I am actually going to move in front of Samuel and then cast a shield spell on myself.
Okay, you can't stand there. There you go. You can stand there. Good.
Okay.
Now, shield is a reaction. The casting time is 1 reaction which you take when you are hit by an attack or targeted by the magic missile spell. So you can wait, and if I attack you, then you can cast it as a reaction, so that you would apply its armor class to yourself before I resolve the attack. But It's generally not something you want to cast just on your turn.
Okay, then I'll cast the sleep spell on the ogre.
All right. Sleep. Roll 5d8. Total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point. All right, so roll 5d8 for me, please.
Which one's the D8?
The third one from the right.
The one with 8 sides, duh.
Or you can type /DIE space 5d8. There you go. 28 hit points. Okay. Wow. Well done. Because Samuel stabbed this one, it has 28 hit points.
I know, instead of giving them a bunch of little creatures with little hit points, I'll give them 2 big ones with big hit points.
Yeah. All right, and if that's the end of your turn, sir?
Yeah, so you flip on the combat tracker, you hit the down arrow, it'll move it on to Sam's turn.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries. It takes a little bit to get used to.
In my time at the bar with Sinergy, did Sinergy tell me if you could heal?
If I time at the bar, did you tell me if I'd heal you?
Yeah, well, we're at the bar. Did you say that you could heal people?
Yeah, I suppose I did. Sounds like something I would say.
Comes with conversation. Okay.
Don't I have to press a button in the spell slots under first?
Yeah, to put a check mark next to the first.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll move to this guy.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna sneak attack again? Oh, great.
Nope.
You're bleeding so badly. You're like, I tried.
Yeah, your own blood made your blade slip. And, yeah, it was.
Alright, so trying to show that I am the greater threat, I am making an attack with my halberd from here.
All right.
Did that not go? Oh man, I drag and drop the die, it's like 19! Right, single click maybe? Double click maybe?
I should hit nail.
Well, that doesn't help.
Alright.
Now, my attack was really menacing though. It's like, I should attack this thing with the goat head on a stick. This seems like the thing I should fight.
There you go.
I will move 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way around the ogre.
All right.
And cure wounds onto whoever this person is. Oh, right.
Nice.
And then protect him with my shield.
Okay.
And unfortunately, demon, you have to remove the protection. I think I can do that.
Oh, do I do that on my combat tracker?
I got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I do hope the next version of Fantasy Grounds gets some consistency UI. I hate some shit you can drag and drop, some single click, some double click. I never know what's what.
Yeah. Okay, Ogre 3 snores. Ogre 6 is going to kill the dancing little human. And he swings a mighty blow at you, but misses.
It's all the dancing. I'm not very dexterous, so it kind of looks awkward as fuck.
Sweet Flame.
I'm going to move right here and then attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
He's being flanked, so you get advantage. Just push the ADV down the bottom left of the screen.
ADV?
Yeah, before you roll.
Huh, did I have advantage on my last attack? I'm curious.
You should have, yes.
Okay, fair enough. Less
Good. Good, roll it again. Okay, that's Sweet Flame, you did hit, yes.
Okay. And I'll end my turn.
You want to deal damage?
You gotta roll for damage.
Oh shoot, sorry. It's my bad.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Before you roll for damage, control click on Ogre number 6. There you go. Right.
Okay. And then do I just roll like I did before?
So next to your quarterstaff, on your action tab, there's a big box that says 1d6 plus 1 bludgeoning. If you double click that box, it will roll damage for you. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Samuel.
Gonna move under his feet to there.
Yeah, I guess a good question. Which way is the ogre facing? Toward Sinergy, correct?
Facing is yeah. Facing is not a thing.
Oh, really? Okay, as I understand it, I'm flanking both with Sinergy and Sweet Flame.
This is true, yes.
Is that double advantage?
No. It is advantage, it's not double advantage. There is no double advantage. There you go.
Just inspiration.
Nice.
Alright, I will step over here. Protecting this person. Since everybody else wants to run away.
So nice of you.
Oh shit, I gotta roll again.
There you go. Good damage. Okay, Ogre 3 continues to snore. Ogre 6, let's see, who did the most damage to Ogre 6? That sneaky little rogue did the most damage to Ogre 6.
The one who kept running away from my protection? Yeah.
That way.
The one who's able to walk away after he attacks, but didn't? The one who almost died and probably will die now?
Can I dodge out of the way?
No, you take 11 points of damage.
He rolled it too.
Was that a natural 20?
No.
No. It's a natural 14. Yeah, I rolled it. You take 11 points of damage. I'm not even thinking on this one.
That's the most I could heal you for, and you wasted it.
Sweet Flame.
I am going to attack again with my quarterstaff.
All right. Now, as a wizard, you have access to a different, you have access to 0-level spells. They're called cantrips. You never run out of cantrips. You can cast them as many times as you want forever, and they all do much better damage than your quarterstaff.
I'm still going to attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay. You hit.
With a 12?
It's an ogre.
He's big.
You hit for 4 damage. Well done, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
All right, thank you.
Oh, hold on, I forgot to do sneak attack.
Does he get sneak attack if he's fighting him?
Once around, if you're flanking, yes.
Okay.
Because apparently facing some of the things, so cool.
Yep.
So he takes 12 damage.
All right.
This ogre falls down.
Take that, Shrek.
I'm gonna go sit under this tree while they coup de grace ogre 3.
All right.
Is Ogre 3 still nodding soundly?
Yep. Ogre 3 is still sleeping like a baby.
I'd like to turn Ogre 3 into an Ogre kebab using the goat head on the stick.
All right. I wonder how that works.
I have a sickle and I can cut his throat, but
What, do you think the attack wakes him up?
I could practice my pole vaulting ability using his throat meat as a pivot point.
I've always thought that it would wake him up if you attacked him.
Right, but luckily Court plays with the rule if you attack somebody sleeping, you can kill them.
But what if you
So, under rules as written, there is no way to dispatch a sleeping opponent without risking their waking. You can attack with advantage and get a critical hit. This may render them unconscious or may kill them, but if it doesn't, they will wake up. Given the description, that's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, so you kill it. Because if a guy is sleeping and you hit him in the neck with a great axe, he's not going to survive that blow.
Right, but like let's say a rock golem is put to sleep and you attack it, are you necessarily going to kill him?
No, but that's a different situation. Yeah.
Which I don't know if they would sense our approach when they're sleeping. I guess it depends how soundly they're sleeping. Get it?
Magically sleeping.
Right. Well, if you hit the rock golem with an adamantine axe, you would still dismember it just the same.
That is good to know for when that arrives. So, does anybody else see the spider in the corner, or is that just me?
It's not there. How about it?
Yeah, that's what the spider wants us to think. All right, so
I don't fucking see the spiders or spider.
no, it's not there. So the house is pretty much burnt out, or is it like a roaring flame? People can see it for miles around.
The flames have really ceased. There's a few wisps of smoke coming up from the house itself. Inside, of course, you do find the corpse of Lord Reginald. who died bravely, clutching his long sword and wearing his underwear.
No. All right.
What kind of underwear?
Oh my God, we're not describing this guy's underwear. We're going to look for something like a helmet or an insignia showing that it is him, so I can take it back to the mayor and say, unfortunately, he was dispatched by the Weir's Block.
And I guess that's my question. How far are we from the town? Could we...
Quarter day's travel.
Quarter day's travel.
That's what the mayor said at least.
I guess had we any sense we've had a pack animal with us instead of wandering out.
Is there anything in the house that we find of interest that stands out?
We found 900 XPs.
Well, I guess my outstanding question was like anything but us bringing him back to town to give him proper burial. Paladin.
That's why I was bringing him back some insignia, so they let them know that their guys over here burnt to a crisp. I don't really want to carry. It's not my funeral ritual to perform. I'm not going to move a dead body that belongs to somebody.
The sword is here, so if we quarter him and each carry a quarter.
I don't know how this town deals with their dead people. Maybe touching dead people is bad news bears. A broom of flying? Fucking A.
I know, right? So I said when I rolled it up. His sword is carefully and lovingly engraved. It's all the proof you need of who he is and the fact that he's.
Sword it is.
Now I put that loot on the party sheet. If you would go through and let me know what you want. And I rolled that randomly. I used the table here in Fantasy Grounds, so it was like, oh, there's 3 magic items in there. Okay.
I'll take the Nimbus 2000.
You'll take the what?
The Nimbus 2000.
Broom of flying.
Nimbus 2000.
That's a Harry Potter reference.
Do you not get that reference?
I read the books a very long time ago. Is that the broom?
Yeah, that's pretty. I'll take the broom of flying.
Alright.
I don't know. Advanced pretty awesome.
None of us are intelligence casters, though, right?
I thought he was a wizard.
Yeah, wizards are intelligence casters.
Oh, too bad he wanted the broom.
That's
Seems
what I
like, seems like he'd want something to make his intelligence a 19.
That's what I was thinking.
So, my intellect is my dump stat. So, can I take the headband of intellect and make it 19?
I thought Demon already claimed the headband.
Me? No. I was pointing out that Sweet Flame may be better served by the headband. Or maybe just a broom, who knows? So, man of the land, I need no riches or treasures, minus the copper chalice and anything worth money.
Could I change the item?
Sure. Yeah, what would you like?
The headband of intellect?
That's been claimed by somebody else. That's between you guys. I'm just, like I was running a session a few weeks ago, and I put in magic items for everyone in the party. And one of the players in the party was like, "Oh, I'll take that and that." I set specific magic items in the party for each player, and this guy took both of them because he just jumped up and, "Oh, I'll take that and that. Yeah, that'll be great." Like, okay.
Is it alright with everyone if I take the headband of vanilla?
Yeah, go for it.
Fine by me. I'll take the mace if nobody wants.
Yeah, sure.
Looks a lot nicer than the mace I carry around for those dang old skeletons. Hate them skeletons. How is this not a +1 weapon? Like, doesn't it have to be +1 in order to be magical? Or is there another thing in this?
Could I take both the headband of vanilla and the broom of flying? Or am I only allowed one?
Did you want something?
It's up to the party. I mean, you can have whatever you want to. But...
Flying is pretty cool. Let's Man, broom of flying. God damn quarter.
Oh, I'm just interested in the trinkets.
How about we have? Yeah, take the broom. Take the broom. That's fine. That's fine.
I can take the broom?
Just remember
Yeah.
next time.
Is that okay with everyone if I take both the broom of flying and the headband of vanilla?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, as long as we get to call you the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, and broom has some pretty cool abilities, so a couple of us could even ride on it, I think, so that works.
Yeah, of course. I'll let you guys ride it if you need to.
I might need to ride it right now because I'm a little fucked up.
Take it for now.
I'm trying to pick up my sword. Oh yeah, you can ride my broom anytime, all you want. I can take multiple of you, and it doesn't work.
It's all yours. Wink, wink.
Yeah, so I'm happy with that, and then when we get back to town, sell all the other crap. Right, guys?
All right.
Do it.
And my 2 rings. Sell those too.
Okay, everything has been distributed.
I also get the headband of vanilla.
It's on your sheet.
Alright, so I think
Okay,
we should
sorry.
rest here for an hour before we walk back, so that way this kid can spend some hit die.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just call a session there. I'm starting to fade, and that was really just about all I had to play at the beginning anyway.
We had fun.
It was good times. Yeah, I started get over the notion because to me, like, spell slots are like hot lava. You know, I can't step on them, can't spend them. So I don't know that I've cast anything yet because I never want to waste them.
Do you have the ability for Eldritch Blast with your weapon yet, or no?
I have Eldritch Blast as a cantrip, and I took a spec in it where I could knock people back X number of feet.
Demon, you get your spell slots back after a 10-minute rest.
Oh no, I get it. I'm just not that bright, so I sit there like, ooh, not gonna cast anything.
Demon sounds like me last time I played a paladin. You didn't use Holy Smite one time in 3 sessions. God damn you!
Well, I figured if I die, I get to take them with me, so I'll just save up the spells.
Yeah, I was figuring I was gonna have to use my Divine Smite on that ogre since I was gonna be the last one before he got another swing.
Yeah, that sleep didn't work. I was gonna do laughter, touchiness, whatever, laughter, ogre in front of us, trying to take one out.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I was kind of chuckling when you said sleep, because it's a limited hit point thing, and if anything has hit points in this game, it's ogres. And then he rolled a 28. It's like, that's exactly what the ogre has left.
Just like when this fucking guy got hit for 11 after being brought down to 1 already.
Right.
Ogre night.
I use my cantrips, but I'm not sure how useful Blade Ward, Light, Mending, and Mighty Illusion are in like a fight.
What he would you could have taken like an attack cantrip.
Do wizards get to reset their spells like clerics do?
Yeah. Yeah, you really need to change that out and take like Firebolt as one of your cantrips. It's a D10 that you can fire at range, and you can do it forever.
And your attack goes off your intelligence, which is now a 19, as well as your proficiency. So you'll have a bigger bonus to attack than you will with your staff.
Okay, so I can change my cantrips.
Yes.
Okay, how do I do so?
He said, "Quirt, help me out here."
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So at the bottom of your, so on your character sheet, go to your actions tab. At the bottom of that, there is mode. Right now it says combat. If you click on that until it says preparation.
Okay.
Oh wait,
This
maybe.
concludes tonight's stream. Thank you guys for watching.